Still on our series of solving WAEC question, where I don't only show you the right answer, but I show you why they are right and why the other options are wrong. Welcome to MWH tutorial, where accounting, economics, and finance are made simple. We are going to continue from where we stopped with WAEC 2026. So, question 20. Debtors at start was $2,810 and at close was $1,730. Cash and checks received from the customers amounted to $8,165. Credit sales for the year was A. $12,705, B. $7,085, C. $5,355, D. $4,540. We are to determine the right answer. Understand the question first. We have an opening balance of data, 2,810. We have the closing balance of data, 1,730. And within the year, this is the opening, this is the closing. But within the year, this same data made another credit purchase. But we do not know the exact figure for that credit purchase. And yet they paid another money from the money they owe our business. So what to do here? We are to determine the credit purchase they made within the year. That is what we are going to determine in this question. So let's write. To determine our credit sales, let's say credit sales. We are going to say the amount received. That is the amount received. The amount received, which is $8,165, what they received within the year. $8,165. That is what they have received. Plus closing stock. Plus your closing stock. Your closing balance of data. Sorry. $1,730. $1,730 minus opening balance of data, less opening balance of data, that is $2,810. $2,810. What you've got will be your credit purchase for the year, credit purchase within the year. Then you can say 8,165 plus 1,730 minus 2,810. 2,810. Your answer will be $7,085. This is your credit purchase within the year. Let's see if we can get our answer from the options. Look at it here. Our answer is B. Our answer is B. And let's do it another way to prove our answer. This is the opening balance for data. 2,810. 2,810 plus the credit purchase within the year. That is this 7,085. Add it together. 2,010 plus 785. Then you are going to have 9,895. When you less closing balance of data, that is 1,000 less 1,730 you are going to have 8,164 and $65. That is the amount, the cash they paid, the amount they paid. You can see we have determined the amount they paid. So this is the solution to question 20. Let's continue. Question 21. A partner who provided loan to the partnership would be regarded as A, an employee, B, a creditor, C, the owner, D, a debtor. So the question is trying to determine a partner that lend extra money besides his own contribution. What are we supposed to call him here? The answer actually is a creditor. Let's say, for instance, Musa is a partner in a particular partnership business. After his normal contribution to the business, he can now decide to lend money to the business. So once a business owes somebody, that person has automatically become a creditor to the business. So therefore the right answer is a creditor. And yet the contribution Musa made for the capital, that one is for his interest for being a member in that partnership. So therefore, but lending the business extra money called loan, that one made Musa, for instance, automatically to be a creditor to the business. Okay. Use the following information to answer question 22 and question 23. Cost of motor vehicle, 1st January 2018, 170,000 lei. This is Realian currency. We made a currency like this in the solution of our practice questions. Residual value, 10,000. Estimated useful life of the asset is 10 years. The business makes use of straight line method of providing for depreciation. Here is the question. The annual depreciation is A, 18,000 lei, B, 17,000 lei, C, 16,000 lei, D, 15,000 lei. We are to determine the annual depreciation. Let's try it. If you want to determine your annual depreciation, it's for you to say costs of the assets less residual value all over useful life of the asset. Useful life of the asset. The cost of the asset, this is the amount you purchase the asset, minus the residual value. This is the amount we are expected to sell the asset after we've used it for within that stipulated period. Let's say the asset is going to spend 10 years with us. After these 10 years, how much would be the value of that particular asset by them? So this is what you call residual value. All over the useful life of the asset. How long? Let's say according to this question, we have given 10 years. So now, let's just substitute our figures and see. The cost of the asset has been given as 170,000, sorry. 170,000. Less residual value. The residual value has been given as 10,000. 10,000. All over the useful life of an asset. The useful life of an asset has been given as 10 years. 10 years. So now, 170 minus 10,000, you have 160,000. All over 10. All over 10. 160,000 divided by 10. We have 16,000. 16,000. This should be our annual depreciation, 16,000. Let's see where we can see 16,000. Our answer should be C. That is our annual depreciation, 16,000. Question 23. Still using this information, remember? The accumulated depreciation of an asset as the accumulated depreciation as at 31st December 2019 is A. 37,000 lei, B. 34,000 lei, C. 32,000 lei, D. 16,000 lei. The accumulated depreciation, they say at 31st December. Remember, the depreciation started at what? Started when? We started 2018. You see, for this 2018, at the end of 2018, we are going to charge depreciation. For 2019, at the end of 2019, we are going to charge depreciation. And 2019 is given to us. That is to say, we charge depreciation for 2 consecutive years. So therefore, we are going to charge depreciation for 2 years. Remember, annual depreciation, we got 16,000. Annual depreciation, we got 16,000. 16,000. But we've said accumulated depreciation is equals to annual depreciation by the number of the years. So therefore, 16,000 by times the number of the years, 2018, 2019. So therefore, times 2. Our answer should be $32,000. This will be our answer to this annual depreciation. Where is that? We have 36,000 here. Here, our answer is C here. Our answer is C. Well, went to question 24. The expression that asset equal capital and liability is the A. Accounting equation. B. Business entity concept. C. Double entry principle. D. Golden rule. So, accounting asset equal to capital plus liability. Asset equals to capital plus liability. This expression. The question is referring to this expression. This is what you call accounting equation. Accounting equation. According to accounting, as your asset is equivalent to capital plus liability. Let's say if you have an asset of 10 million, it's equivalent to capital, let's say capital of 8 million plus liability, let's say of 2 million. That is what made of this asset of 10 million. Let's say 8 million plus 2 million. So this is it. Question 25. A receipt and payment account reveals A. Surplus, B. Net profits, C. Cash in hand, D. Net loss. Basically, receipt and payment is just like the salary of the summary of cash book, or the summary of cash, or the summary of bank balance, cash balance or bank balance. So for non-profit making organization, they prepare receipt and payment. Let's say, for instance, you've received 100,000. You paid 80,000. You paid 80,000. The difference between 100,000 and 80,000, the 20,000, represents the balance in either cash balance or bank balance. So therefore, it shows the cash in hand or cash balance. That's what it shows. Cash in hand. It's not surplus. It's not net profit. Net profit because non-profit is for non-profit making organization. So it's not net loss either, because the non-profit making, they are not dealing with with profits at all. Okay. Where a business maintains a fixed capital account, the share of profit of partner would be A, credited to current account, B, debited to current account, C, credited to capital account, D, debited to capital account. This question is trying to test our understanding of fixed a situation in a partnership where we could maintain capital as fixed capital or fluctuating capital. So normally under fixed capital, the balance of capital is not expected to change. It is expected to remain the way it is. So therefore now, where can you record the share of profit, interest on drawing, interest on drawing, and other incomes, or something that comes in or something that goes out? Where are you going to record it? Inside the capital. So therefore, we are going to use what you call current account. We are going to use current account, and we are going to credit it to current account because it increases owners partners balance. So therefore, it has to come to credit side of current account. In a nutshell, it just tells us that a situation whereby partnership maintain fixed capital account, the balance of capital account are not expected to change. So therefore, it should remain the way it is. But the interest on capital, interest on drawings, and other things, other incomes, will go to current account. We also go to credit side of current account. That is what the question is on. So therefore, the question is credited to current account. Now, use the following information to answer question 27 and question 28. Capital on 1st January 2024, 364,000 lei. Capital 31st December 2024, 349,000 lei. Drawings, 48,000 lei. Additional capital introduced, 20,000. So let's look at the question. The question 27 says net profit or net loss for the period is. What is the net profit or net loss for the period? Let's say net profit or net loss. Let's say net profit / net loss. If you want to determine that, you're going to say your closing capital. Your closing capital. Where is your closing capital? This is your opening capital, 1st January. This is your closing capital. So closing capital 349,000 less opening capital 364,000 less capital, additional capital introduced 20,000 plus drawings. If there is drawings, they are going to add it, 48,000 plus 48,000. So let's see. We are trying to determine our net profit or net loss for the period. So 49,000 plus 364,000 349,000 minus 364,000 minus 20,000 plus 48,000. So our answer is 13,000 left. Where is 13,000 here? Therefore, our answer is B, 13,000. This is how to determine your net profit. Change in capital balances for the year 2024 is A, increases of 20,000 lei, B, increases of 15,000 lei, C, decreases of 5,000 lei, D, decreases of 15,000 lei. So you want to see the movement of the capital. So therefore, look at your opening balance for the capital and the closing balance and determine the difference. The opening balance is given as 364,000. Less closing balance 349,000 left. 364 plus 349. The difference is 15,000. So that is to say the closing balance is lower than the opening balance by 15,000. So therefore there is decrease in capital. Maybe because of lending and other things could affect capital. So therefore capital has reduced by 15,000. So therefore it's a decrease. It's a decrease. If you were to do it this way, let's say 349, let's 364, we are going to have minus 15,000. So therefore it's a decrease of 5,000 left. Therefore our answer should be D, decrease of 5,000. Okay, question 29. Withdrawal of cash $10,000 by a sole proprietor from his business for personal use is treated in the books as deduction from his capital. The concept applied is A, going concern concept, B, entity concept, C, historical cost concept, D, consistency concept. So withdrawal of cash in business, there is a concept that says between the owner of the business and the business itself are two different entities. This concept is called entity concept. That is to say, if a businessman takes something, money from the business for his own personal use, that expenses is not meant for the business. That expenses is not going to write it on behalf of the business. Rather, it should be recorded as a drawing made by the owner of the business. So therefore, the concept that emphasizes that is entity concept. This is our answer, B, entity concept. Items on the credit side of a profit and loss account include A, bad debt written off, B, loss on sales of assets, C, reduction in provision for doubtful debt, D, increase in provision for doubtful debt. Remember, items on credit side of profit and loss account. Let's say this is your profit and loss account. Here is credit, here is debit. Remember, according to this rule of this account, all expenses All expenses goes to debit side. All incomes goes to credit side. Different or odd from the normal rule of accounting that says debit the receiver, credit the giver. If you want to know the reason, scroll down through this channel. You are going to see a video I made, classes of accounts. You are going to know why profit and loss account or profit or loss account is treated this way. So expenses goes to debit side, income goes to credit side. So the question says, item on credit side of a profit and loss account include A, bad debt written off. It always comes to debit side. Bad debt comes to debit side. Loss on sales of assets. Loss on sales of assets. This is a loss. It should also come to debit side because we said expenses goes to debit side. Increase in provision for doubtful debt is a loss. It is a reduction of income, so therefore, or reduction in profit, so therefore it goes to debit side. But reduction in provision for doubtful debt. What do you mean by reduction in provision for doubtful debt? Say, previous year, your provision for doubtful debt happens to be 20,000. Let's say happens to be 20,000 last year. And this year, your provision for doubtful debt happens to be 15,000. You can see there's reduction from last year to this year, reduction of 5,000. So this 5,000 is regarded as income. So therefore, it goes to credit side of provision for of profit or loss account. So therefore, the answer is C, reduction in provision for doubtful debts, because that 5,000 is now regarded as income. 31. Use the following information to answer question 31 and 2. Heading name, capital account drawings. Here is the information. Then the question says, 31 says, the residual profit to be shared according to the profit share ratio is A, 36,900 naira, B, 36,500 naira, C, 35,160 naira, D, 34,360 naira. Question 32 says, Musa's share of profit is A, 21,900, B, 21,096 naira, C, 14,064 naira, D, 7,032 naira. So let me leave you with this question. You can attempt this question. Let me see the solution in the comment section. In my next class, I'm going to continue from this same question. Thank you. If you found this video helpful, kindly share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you.